guys, it's Elizabeth from Elizabeth Books, and I'm here today to do my October wrap-up. So this month I read 20 books, which I'm pretty proud of because I just kind of didn't think I'd be reading that too much this month. My mom and dad came to visit, my brother came to visit, I had Halloween, I was actually sick for about 2-ish weeks, and I'm feeling like all the way better now, but I was pretty sick most of October. And when I'm sick, I really don't like to read. I don't know, I just like to watch TV and just not really think too much. I don't know. And I'm really proud that I read 20 books in October, and I'm going to start talking about them. So first I read Back to the Divide by Elizabeth Kay. This is the second book in the Divide series, or trilogy, and this one was really good. It was about the villain in the first book and how he, in the second book, turns Felix's parents into stone. So the whole story, he's trying to find the cure to turn his parents back into humans, and there's scientists that find his parents and find because his parents have a chain reaction. If they if something touches them, they turn to stone. So these scientists find stone ladybugs and all this and freak out because they're like, what is this? And they find the parents that are stone, and they realize this magic is going on, and Felix is in the other world through the divide trying to find the cure to save his parents, and it's just a really good story. I loved this one, and I didn't really remember it growing up, and so I was really glad to reread it. Then I read City of the Bones, The Mortal Instruments #1 by Cassandra Clare, and I borrowed it from the library, so I can't show you it. But I actually really enjoyed it, because I know I probably told you guys how I really like the Infernal Devices series, and I didn't think I'd like the Mortal Instruments series, but oh my gosh, it was actually a really good read, and I'd watched the movie. The movie was nothing compared to the book. The book was really good. I want to read the rest of the series. It wasn't my favorite series or anything, but I was entertained and captivated the whole time, and I flew through the book. Then I read School of Spirits by Rachel Hawkins, and this is a spin-off of her Hex Hall series. I really enjoyed it. It's about Lizzie Brannick, Izzy Brannick, and she's cousins to the main character in the Hex Hall series. So, she's mentioned Sophie from the main series, but this is all about her, and it was so good. She had to stop her school from a ghost haunting, and I just really enjoyed it. I think she has really good writing. I've liked every Rachel Hawkins book I've read so far, and so I was really glad to pick this one up. Then I read Feedback, which is the Variant #2, the Variant series, and it's by Robert Wells, and I borrowed that from the library, so I don't have it to show you. But I absolutely loved it. I loved Variant, and I can't really tell you what it's about because it would completely ruin the story. So I can't really tell you what Feedback's about because it would completely ruin Variant, and you had to read Variant to read Feedback, but Feedback was even better than Variant. The twist in it was crazy, and I just loved every single part about it. I feel like some people might think it's silly, because I did think it was kind of silly, the concept, but it was so well written that it didn't matter, and it's just a really good dystopian type thriller book, and I recommend it. I really enjoyed it. Then I read Pandemonium, which is the second book in the Delirium series by Lauren Oliver, and I also got that from the library, so I don't have it to show you. And it was also super good. I loved Delirium, and I know a lot of people don't like Lauren Oliver, but apparently I do because I loved Delirium, or Pandemonium, and I'm excited to read the third one. It left in such a cliffhanger ending, Pandemonium did, and I just want to know what happens next. I'm super excited to read what happens next because, I don't know, I just loved Pandemonium, and I can't really tell you too much about it because it's the second book in a series, and I don't want to ruin it because the first book was so good. I don't know, just read it, and I liked it. Then I read Ignite Me by Tahara Mafi, and this is the third book in the Shatter Me trilogy. This wasn't my favorite trilogy or anything. I just love the covers, mainly why I'm gonna keep this trilogy, because it's not I did not like it, it's just not my favorite, and everybody tells you, like, you're gonna hate Adam, you'll hate Adam after this book. I really don't hate Adam. I kind of understand why he is the way he is. Like, I mean, he did take, like, the things he say are mean, and I'm not trying to, like, spoil the book, but people are just like, oh, I completely hate him after, like, you're gonna completely hate him, and I, like, really don't hate him. He, like, wasn't my favorite character to start with, and, like, he's still not my favorite character, but I don't, like, hate him, and I just don't care about him. But I guess I like Warner, and it was a good series. Like, I will probably reread it, and I'll keep it because I like how they look, but I wouldn't, like, go out and really recommend it over some other series, but that's just me. Then I read Of Poseidon by Anna Banks. Oh my god. This book was horrible. It was so bad. Like, I wanted to like it. The story was good. Like, you know, overall, like, the story was a cool story, and it left on a cliffhanger, which makes me mad because I want to know what happens next, but I really cannot read. For real, I cannot read 2 more of these books. It was so painful to get through. I started this, like, early September, I want to say, and I couldn't finish it till, like, halfway through October, because I had to read other books in between it because it just literally was so bad. The main character was, like, one of the worst main characters I've ever read. It switched every chapter. It switched from first person to third person, which made absolutely no sense in the story at all. It didn't help the story at all. And the main character, I can't even remember her name. It was Emma. Okay, the main character, Emma, every page or every other page would say things like, fan-flippin-tastic. Okay. It was like, oh my sweet goodness. And she said it every other page, like, for 300 and something pages. It was ridiculous. I almost murdered her. I really wanted to, like, throw this book away. And so, yeah, like, it left in a cliffhanger, and I'm really mad because I want to know what happens next. But somebody just messaged me and, like, spoil it for me or something because, like, I literally cannot read the other 2 books in this series. Then I read, on a positive note, I read The Reality Bug, and this is the 4th Pendragon book. And this one is so good. I love this one so much. It's about how Bobby goes to this world called Velox, and it's a world where everyone lives basically in a virtual reality machine. So I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Inception, but it's basically like that. Like, they're hooked up, and it's like they're dreaming, and they can have, like, any kind of world they can imagine. And so everybody, like, lives in there because it's better than real life. But that means real life, there's no food, there's, like, no shelter, and the world's gonna collapse. And Saint Dane, who is, you know, the villain in the series, he's come to Velox to watch it all happen. A scary, like, unbelievable story. It's so good. It's probably the best Pendragon book, I believe, in the series. I read The Magician, The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel by Michael Scott, and this is the 2nd book in the, I guess, The Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel series, and I loved this one. It was so good, and I think I'm gonna like this whole series. This is just the 2nd one, and I don't know how many more there are, but on the back there's, like, 4 other ones, so I don't know. But about how the group gets to France, and they know magic and, like, alchemy, and it's all scary and spooky, and yeah, and I don't know, it's really good. I just liked it. It's hard to, like, describe it because I don't want to give away the first book. This is hard. Why do I keep reading things in series and I can't really talk about it? Yeah, but it was good. Okay, next I read A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray, and that was my friend Ashley, so I returned that, but it was really good. I actually really liked it. It was so long. It took me, like, most of October to read because, like, I mean, it wasn't that long. It was like 400 and something pages, but I just felt like I would read and like, nothing was happening, but a lot was happening, but, like, I wasn't getting through any pages. It's about this girl, and her mom dies, and she finds out she has, like, powers, and she goes to this boarding school in England and meets these group of friends and, like, shows them her powers, and it's just, like, friendship and all the powers, and it's like a series, so I don't really know like what's gonna happen next, but I really did enjoy the first one, and so I want to keep continuing with it, but I want to get through probably some other books before I get back into it, because it was just such a dense like novel, I think. Then I read Rooms by Lauren Oliver, and I just love this cover. I don't know, I went to Barnes & Noble and it was there and it was like full price and I bought it because I'm stupid, and it was so good. See, I love Lauren Oliver. She's the one who wrote the Delirium series and all that, and I loved this book. I thought it was amazing. Like, I don't know if everybody would love it, but I thought it was really good. It was about this house and these two ghosts lived in it, and the owner of the house passed away, so his family comes back. It's narrated like by the ghosts, and it's so good. It's like, I don't know, I just loved it. It was spooky but like good, and I just loved all the characters. I loved the story. It had so many like twists and turns in it. I didn't even know what was going on, and I read it in like a few hours, and it was a great October Halloween read, and I would recommend it if you like Lauren Oliver. I think you like it, and if you just like spooky, ghosty, cool stories, it was really good. Then I read City of Ashes, The Mortal Instruments number 2 by Cassandra Clare, and that was my friend's and I returned it, so I can't show you it. This happened a lot this month. Oops. But it was really good. It was just, I liked it, I think, more than the first one because more happened than, I don't know, I didn't feel like a lot really happened in the first one, but I mean, a lot didn't really happen in this one either. It just kind of sucked me in, but one of the characters becomes like a vampire, and I'm not gonna tell you who, but I just didn't like it. I just don't like him as a vampire, but maybe the rest of the series I'll like it, and I don't know. I don't really like any of the characters right now. It's just like I like the stories, but it's not like I really like any of the characters except Magnus Bane. I really like him. I like Jace, and I like Alec, and I like Isabel, but that's about it. But I don't really love anybody yet except Magnus, so I don't know. I'll have to keep reading the series and see. But then I read Blackwater, which is the 5th Pendragon book by DJ McCall. I'm not really sure, I'm sorry. But this one was really good too. I remember growing up, I didn't think I liked this one, but rereading it, it was so good. It's a world called Elong, and it's about how humans are basically animals, and the people, like the main characters and people on the world of Elong are giant cats who can talk and like hunt and blah blah blah, and they treat humans like their pets and their slaves and stuff, how we treat animals like that. So Bobby is considered, you know, like an animal, like nothing to these people, and the Traveler is a cat, and he has to convince her, like, you know, he is an important person and he's there to help them. And Saint Dane in this book is trying to kill out both the species to like turn this world into chaos, and Bobby has to save the day, and yeah, that's about it. Then I read I Am Number 4 by Pittacus Lure, and I don't know who like actually wrote this book, because I'm pretty sure that's not the name of the person, because that's like a character in the book too, but I didn't look it up because I don't care enough. Oops. But I really enjoyed this book. I know like there's some controversy around this book about like the publishing company or the author or whatever, but I mean, I thought it was a really good story. I was like captivated the whole time. I'm not sure if I really want to read the series because it's kind of about like alienness, and I didn't really like that aspect of it, but I liked the like adventure-y high school parts of it, so I guess I didn't even really like the alien part. I just liked he was in high school and all the drama with that. But and I really liked his like dad Henry and all that, and it was really good. But yeah, I'm not sure if I would like want to finish the series. Like I probably would if I borrowed them from somebody, but I'm not gonna like buy the rest of the series. So maybe like my library has them, I'll read it. But it was a good read. And then I read Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, and I loved this one. I didn't really love the whole aspect of the book, but it's about how she is a slave and the prince of the, I can't remember like kingdom names and stuff, but the prince of the kingdom or whatever wants her to train train to be his like assassin for his father, because his father's having this like competition with all these assassins to become like the king's assassin. And so the prince like picks her. She is a like one of the youngest like female assassins, and she killed she killed a lot of people. And I mean, I don't think that's like cool, but I think it's cool that she's like a cool, awesome female, assassin instead of a male. I don't know. I just like that aspect of it. So I really liked the story of her like training, all the different trainings. There's like a poison training, like an arrow shootout, scaling like to get to the top of the wall first. Like I liked all that to show like she was the best. And there is like a love triangle with her and the prince, and then like the king's guard, the knight's guard or whatever. And so I don't really like love triangles, but I didn't feel like it was too bad. I don't know. I definitely liked both the people though, so it's not like I'm really on like team this one or team this one. So I don't really know what's going to happen, but because there's more books in this series. And I don't know, I just really liked that. But then there's like parts with this magic in it, and I really didn't like the magic-y parts of it. I just wanted it to be her like training to be an assassin, but it was her training to be an assassin like, well, she like already is an assassin, but trying to like win the competition to be an assassin. But I just didn't like the like magic parts in there too. But I mean, it was okay, but overall I really liked the book. Then I read Stay by Deb Calanti, and I borrowed that from my friend, so I can't show you. Again, sorry, I did that a lot in the library this month. But I really wasn't a fan of it. It reminded me a lot of Dreamland by Sarah Dessen, but Dreamland was way better. And this one I felt like it took a lot of things that Dreamland said and made it worse, and I just didn't believe the characters. I didn't believe the situation. It seemed very over the top and like far-fetched and fake, and I just wasn't into it. And I mean, it took me like 2 hours to read it too, and I was just like, when is this gonna end? Because I liked parts of it, but overall I just didn't really like it. It just reminded me too much of Dreamland by Sarah Dessen, and I would just much rather read Dreamland than like read this book again. But yeah. And finally I read 4 books in the Amber Brown series by Paula Danziger. And I read these 4 books. I read Amber Brown Is Not a Crayon, You Can't Eat Your Chicken Pox, Amber Brown Goes Forth, and Amber Brown Wants Extra Credit. And these were all really cute. I just read these all in like a night, in like an hour I think. And I don't know, I just love these. They are basically part of my childhood. I read so many of these growing up, and I got these from I got these box set like really cheap from Value Village, so I just thought I'd pick it up and reread them. And I mean, they're all just about Amber Brown and how she goes through elementary school and how she loses a friend and gets a new friend, and her mother's divorced, and it's about her going through divorce, and her mother gets a new boyfriend, so she deals with that. And I just love them. They're just so good, and they made me cry a little bit. They made me laugh. I loved this one, Amber Brown Wants Extra Credit, because I actually in like 2nd grade baked brownies called Amber Brownies, which is what she makes for extra credit in the book, and actually made them for a bake sale, and I won. And so this just like gives me a good memory, because I don't know, it just gives me a good memory for making brownies and like winning a competition. It's all from like this book I read when I was younger, and so yeah, they all mean a lot to me, and I'm really glad I picked up this series. But yeah guys, that was everything I read in October, and I'll see you guys in my November TBR. Bye guys.